It feels live. I guess. We got reload, nothing. Yeah, that's a lot of life goes sometimes. That's the way the cookie gets crumbled. Oh yeah, good times. Here we go. Another live stream. Shout out to all the celebrators of Easter. I was unavailable last week. As sometimes you're not available. Thought about being not available this week. Just for fun. The volume's turned down real quick so I don't double zammy whammy blammy the whole world. Oh man, two weeks of catching up. Oh God. 2 weeks. What could possibly have gone wrong in 2 weeks? We're just going to enjoy the grinding of the beans for a moment here. Sometimes when you're streaming, you just have to take a moment to enjoy the beans. I don't even know what I'm doing today. I got eggs, cooked some eggs for sure. Might have some hash browns. Might do some hash browns, some eggs, maybe a bacon. Oh, I started watching videos this morning, and next thing I know, it's 11 o'clock. So, yeah. Slept in a little bit, watched a little too much internet in the morning. Was comfortable. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's obvious because, I know the algorithm shows you what it shows you, but, I've been getting these, I don't know what you call them, First Amendment auditor videos? I can't stop watching them. I cannot stop watching the police break the law. It's just so crazy to me. I would think at this point, everyone would be on board with, hey, let's just not do crimes if we're law enforcement. And for some reason, I don't think the memo has gone 100% out. I mean, it could still be a little bit not sure how, things work, but I just feel like potentially the whole world could be a better place if the people who are supposed to be enforcing the law would maybe just participate in not breaking the law. We got enough crime going on. I mean, I generally am a supporter of, law and order and regular life. But God, it's just I don't know. There's something magical about, I don't know what it is. People in authority lying and breaking the law. Just I guess it rubs me wrong. I don't know why it is. Something about you should know better. The whole thing is just getting too much. And I know there's people that are like, oh, those First Amendment auditors, those people are the problem in the world. I'm thinking, my God, I guess. I mean, don't go looking for trouble, there won't be no trouble. Is that what we're going with? That's right up there with if you have nothing to hide, you have no reason to not want to be searched type of shit. It's just dude, I don't understand. I don't get why we live in arguably, I believe it, the greatest country that's ever existed on planet Earth. And the people that set it up had a reason to set it up the way they did, and they made the rules the way they made them. But yet we have these authorities that are like, they don't care. It's so crazy. I don't know why. I gotta stop watching them. There's gotta be something better on there. I need some cat videos or something. Some cat videos. Alright, looks like we're going to do bacon and eggs and maybe get a hash brown or something going here. I think I got 2 more left of these. What's going on with my camera? Something's looking crazy. Hopefully, I think I got do I have a... Is that better? Yeah, there was like a thing on there or something. We got a couple of these Mr. D's potato patties. They're pretty good. Pretty good. Probably too good. They're probably so good I eat them too much. They're so easy. Doing the elusive thaw the bacon slab out. That's always fun. So the one thing I've noticed is if I don't do a breakfast stream, the maid doesn't show up and clean my kitchen, then my kitchen is completely goddamn out of whack. I mean, not that my kitchen's ever in whack, but it's more out of whack than normal, if that's even... Let's go over here. Yeah, I got empty cans as I put my bacon grease in. Everybody calm down. Calm down right now. So... do a couple of those. Hopefully the liner doesn't go around too much. I prefer 3, but you can only have 2 if you got 2 left. There we go. I'm trying to think of like the most craziest shit that's happened in the last little bit here. What's happened in the last 2 weeks? Vice President of the United States visited the Pope. The Pope died. So that's crazy. So there's a lot of people on the internet are asking him to go visit other people that, potentially have outlived their usefulness. Allegedly. Whatever. I found a piece of paper here from last week. Oh yeah, so I was talking about how it's hard to be on the internet, competing with all the things that happen on the internet. And one of the things that I don't know if I talk about it in the stream, but one of the things that I've mentioned in the past, like there's cleaning videos on YouTube where women wear see-through clothes and bend over, and like that's available. That's within terms of service. That's okay. And I have to compete, like I'm cooking bacon, I have to compete with that. That's pretty hard to compete with. Like, I'm not even sure if I want to watch myself cook bacon one night. That's available to watch. So, the whole like, well, whatever. Sex work is real work, I'm all for that. Thank God for, what do they call it, women's liberation or whatever. So I looked up some statistics. You guys ready for this? All right, there's a website called OnlyFans. That's where you can go and get naked. People pay you. There are 1.4 million women on OnlyFans. 1.2 of them are from the age 18 to 24. Right? 1.2 million 18 to 24-year-old women are getting naked on OnlyFans. So there's only 10 million 18 to 24 women in the United States. That's 10% of the United States women 18 to 24 getting naked on OnlyFans. Like, wrap your head around that. Wrap your head around that. 10%. Of the women 18 to 24 are taking their clothes off for money online. And that's like the world we live in now. Isn't that crazy? 1 in 10. 1 in 10 18 to 24-year-olds. Like, good luck to everybody. Like, how is that going to work out? Like, mean, I know you're not allowed to call them whores, but like, if you're going to be a whore, like, how's that going to work out? Whatever. Good luck. I'm thinking about starting my own band. Get naked with it. If people pay to watch that? Oh, I don't think so. 10% of 18 to 24-year-old women. Holy shit. Houston, we have a problem. It's crazy as shit. So I just feel fortunate for the subscribers that I have. It still blows my mind that there are people that are willing to watch me do stuff like that. But I know what's available out there. There's so much better, more satisfying things to watch. Trying to keep it wholesome here at the old bacon cooking channel. Actually, I need to put the. I think I put the sugar. I think the cream in there. I mean, whatever. Just like, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. And like, what's crazy is like those stats were not that bad like a year ago. They were not nearly that bad like 2 years ago, and like the stats are just getting like just get crazier and crazier. And you're just like, I don't know, how's that work? How's it gonna work out? I just spilled coffee all over the floor. All right, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with spilling coffee all over the floor. I feel like this might be whatever you called it enough to start cooking. I don't want to use the wrong word. The word authority's after me. Comes the word police. All right, I gotta get a new hand towel. So yeah, 1 in 10. Woo, that's crazy. What blows my mind is there's like let's see, 1.4 million to 1.2. That's 200. There's 200,000 over 24-year-old women getting naked on the internet on OnlyFans. Now, I guess there's something for everybody, I guess. Whatever. What else? I got a piece of paper here. I got some notes that I'm not going to show you. I got notes. Let's see. What is this? Someone with a birthday of the year 2154 has collected unemployment insurance. They've collected $41,000 so far, and their birthday is not until the year 2154. That was pretty wild. I mean, this is old news. This is last week's news. I get a chance to share the last week's news with y'all. That's impressive. Now, I'm not so naive to think that I know better than how the system works, but I would think the system would have a thing that would throw a little, like, I don't know, an alert or something, or notification when the person collected unemployment isn't even born for, like, 125-ish years. I think that'd be like a default, like, hey, hold on a second. Hold the phone. I don't know if that's going to work. Whatever. I'm sure it's good work if you can get it. What else do I got here? Oh, more on the unemployment insurance fucking scamming. There's, let's see here, I can't read my writing. There's 24.5 thousand, 24,500, is it 1,000? People that are over 115 years old collecting unemployment to the tune of 59 million. Now, I mean, I'm not an expert in most things, but like, my understanding is if you're on unemployment, that means you were employed and you've been fired. I don't know how many 119-year-olds are out working. I mean, what did it say? God bless you if you are. God bless you. there was 28,000 1 to 5-year-olds. I don't know how you're collecting unemployment when you're not quite 5 years old yet, but I'm sure there's a way that I'm not aware of, but somehow it's happening. Seems a little intense. I guess those 1 to 5-year-olds were unjustly let go. They were able to collect their insurance. Whatever. What are things that are happening in the world that just makes you just smile and be like, well, that's interesting. This isn't on my notes, but like, there's a lot of people that are upset. There's some accountability being, people are being held accountable for their actions. A couple of esteemed adjudicators of the law are being accountable for the breaking of the law. Have you guys seen this? Uh-oh. We just went through, what was it, four years of no one's above the law? Remember? Remember 4 years of no one's above the law? No one's above the law! Oh man, it's so wild. Like, what's the craziest one that's happening right now? Letitia James? You followed that? My God. The lady that went after the former president of the United States for mortgage fraud is now being investigated for mortgage fraud? It sounds bad. It's all allegedly. Ain't looking good for Letitia. I think she might have some problems. And it sounds like, if I had to guess, she's going to be okay with it because, according to Letitia James, no one, in fact, is above the law. Therefore, I assume she rejoices and celebrates her opportunity to be prosecuted, being how she is not above the law. She, in fact, is someone. See how that works? And there's some pearl clutching going on. There's some upset people. They're afraid that these might be political retaliations using the law for. I was like, oh, okay, well. We established that's no longer a problem in this country. We don't have to worry about that. Right when you started prosecuting former presidents of the United States, all that went out the window, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. I tried to warn people. I was like, this ain't going to work out like you think it's going to. I wouldn't recommend it. I always find it ironic when people get what they ask for in life. You ever notice that? Sometimes people ask for things in life, they get it, and then they're upset they got it. I mean, come on now. Like there's a big controversy going on about a bunch of high school kids that's gotten some sort of scuffle and one of them got murdered. Man, like that's got people divided. You know, and like everything else, you know, I'm not necessarily a or B team. I'm taking the C position on this one. That's what I think. You ready for this? I think that the United States is going to have to make a decision. And what's the decision going to be? Is the rule going to be you get to put your hands on people with no consequences? That's fine. Or is the rule going to be we're going to put hands on people and have consequences? That's fine. Pick one. I don't care what you pick, but pick it. And I got a feeling that the majority of people who feel as though the young man who did the stabbing was justified, I bet they would not be down with a rule being in place that if you touch somebody, you get murdered. I'm just saying, it's just like, especially if we go so far as to say high school age kids. That looks like the rule they're trying to establish here is, do high school kids get to murder other high school kids if they get touched? And you got to think real long and hard about that rule. Think about that. Think about if you want that rule reflect on your own life, whether you've ever put your hands on somebody, and whether when you put your hands on somebody, you think the death penalty would be, an apropos response. Because it's been my experience that oftentimes people put their hands on people when they're young, and maybe death penalty at the exact solution. But I guess I'd be okay with it, just as long as it's equal treatment under the law and everybody gets treated the same. With the old 2 pieces or one? It's 2. I just don't think that like. Oh, that's a really thin piece of bacon. I think the unintended consequences from that would be so insane. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine? It's just like, come on. Whatever. I just roll my eyes. It's okay. I just don't ever remember. Oh, whatever. I don't want to get people all mad. People get so mad. It's just like, I'm good with either way. We can either do it either way, but it's got to be. They got to make the decision. It's got to be across the board. Either we're going to say you can't have kids killing kids so they got touched by other kids in high school and high school events, or that's going to have to be a problem. Pick one. I don't care. And then going forward, it's the same. So like, kids touching teachers, teacher can kill the kid. That's the road that people are hoping that. I mean, that's the only logical. That's all you can go to. If you go, it's okay to stab somebody if they touch you in a high school environment, or a grade school environment, or a middle school environment. Like, I don't understand when people think that's even a thing you could even, no matter who you are. What else we got here? That's something else. What else is going on in the world? It's just so wild. Oh man. The young lady who accused the illustrious and most likely innocent former important person from England of statutorily raping her when she was on an island owned by a deceased individual named Mr. Epstein. She suicided herself this week. Did you guys hear about that? That's pretty crazy. Not sure why she would decide to do that all of a sudden, but yeah, she decided she was done. After like getting hit by a school bus like a couple weeks ago. Some crazy deal where she got hit by a school bus, and then she made a post on the internet that said she wasn't going to live 4 years because the car accident broke her kidneys and she had kidney failure, which everybody on the internet's like, well, just get dialysis, you'll be fine. Because you don't die from kidney failure from a car bus accident 4 days later after you post a picture of yourself on the internet. That's not how it actually works, but... So that's got a lot of people scratching their heads. Yeah. I believe it was Prince Andrew's accuser. Yeah. Virginia. She decided that she was, she'd had enough, I guess. I haven't heard the details. I try not to be a total conspiracy theorist, but that seems pretty, I think the conspiracy theorists are going to be out on that one. Yeah, well, good luck. She had made a post like 6 years ago, and it was basically like, she was like, I am absolutely not thinking of hurting myself. I have talked to my therapist. I've talked to my doctor. If anything were to happen to me, it's not because I did it myself. And then, of course, the news that was broke on, I think, Friday, was that she, in fact, did do something to herself. And I'm not laughing at the internet, I'm laughing at the internet. The internet was like, it's like, holy Christ, look at this post that she made. It says she would, and there was like, well, that was a long time ago. Things changed. It's like, yeah, things do change. Things sure do change. I'm not even sure what to think about any of that crap anymore. It's just like, it's like right up there with like banks that are too big to fail type of stuff. It's like, what? Don't be a criminal, kids, but if you're going to be a criminal, be a gigantic criminal. Otherwise you go to jail. If you are a big enough criminal, you don't go to jail. That seems to be how the world's set up to work now. I'm not in the club. I don't know the exact nuances of how the deals go down, but it just seems to be my general observations. Which is pretty wild stuff. Oh well. Moving on to the next thing. I'm not sure if I don't know what's happening. I mean, a couple weeks ago the economy was over, stocks were done, everyone's 401k was over. I'm not sure if that's still happening or not. It's possible. I think maybe the Pope dying maybe took care of some of that news cycle. I really don't know. What did I hear? England's going to block the sun. You guys hear about that? They've decided they had enough sun. They're done with the sun. They want to do less sun. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, no one asked me. I don't have an opinion, or I didn't get my opinion taken on should we block the sun. I've heard some bad things can happen when there's not enough sun. And these aren't things that I think are just like people are just like think might happen. Like you can go back in the historic record, and you can like actually witness these type of events. They've had like big volcanic events that block the sun out for a year or two, and the result of the starving and crop loss are pretty wild. I think the crazy part is like that a country like the United Kingdom or whatever, an island if you will, or a collection of islands, albeit they used to be a pretty big superpower, would have the ability or would be allowed on their own to do something like that. That seems pretty wild to me. I mean, oh, the old toaster thing's yelling at me. I already did the flip. I already flipped the flipper. I assume that, like, if they were to go through with the plan and block the sun out, then something bad would happen, like, I don't know, crops fail and people die. I assume the people that made the decision would just, like, I don't know, have their chef cook the same thing they like to eat. I really don't know how it actually would work. I mean, I've not been alive forever, but I've been alive long enough to go from, well, we were gonna have an ice age, and then we were gonna have, I don't know, the ozone hole was opening up or something, we're all gonna die, and then it was like, then it was global warming, and then it went to climate change because, yeah. So I guess, forgive me if I'm not. Okay. I guess one of the things that really surprises me is the idea that, like, people who make the big decisions and lecture on the big stage, it would be absolutely acceptable for them to, I don't know, fly around on a big jet, non-commercial, or perhaps own a house that was maybe a little larger than you'd need to be comfortable. I mean, I guess it's like, it's okay for them, but like, as long as everybody else cuts back, that'll be fine. It's just like, I mean, the other thing I've heard, you can save the earth if you pay more taxes somehow magically, which is pretty wild. Excuse me. Got a pepper down the throat. Yeah, the old pay more taxes to save the earth. That's a popular one. I mean, whatever. I'm not saying taxes can't save the earth. They very well may be able to. I really don't know. I'm not. Consult your local tax expert on the amount of earth saving you can do with your tax payments. Oh, we had a blowout. Blowout! These are those weak eggs. These aren't those. These are new eggs. These aren't those fancy solar-powered super duper eggs. These are just regular poor person eggs. These are golden eggs. What do they say? Maybe they say we beat the chickens. Item replaced, money refunded. Twice as nice. Comes from Illinois. Yeah, these are abuse chicken eggs. These are the ones they beat the chickens. I will say, I'm a little disappointed that the wholesale price of eggs has gone down by over 50%, but yet the greedy bastards this is what I think's happening. I'll tell you the truth. I think that I think egg prices went up due to, reasons. I think the bird flu happened. I think they killed a lot of birds off. And in case you don't know, the birds they killed off were called chickens, and that's where chicken eggs comes from. It's from chickens, so therefore, production issue. So there was a low production on chicken eggs. Therefore, the cost went up. And this is just me being a judgy asshole. I got a feeling the egg people have made more money. I just got a feeling they've made more money during this production issue than they do normally. And then Easter came up, which is, for reasons, an egg holiday. People buy a lot of eggs who don't normally buy eggs so they can dye them for their kids or whatever. And I think they just got the prices up. I think they just made a decision. I don't think anybody's going to do anything about it. Kind of like during the lockdowns, with the old 2-week lockdowns we had for COVID. Remember those? The 2 weeks? Or if you were a big enough mega corporation, you got to stay in business and make a lot of money. But if you were a small business, you had to be closed. Remember that? Anybody remember that? That all the mega corporations made a couple bucks. That was wild. They were able to increase their profits. Pretty wild stuff. I saw an interview the other day with a dude was having an interview with like Chris Cuomo from the old CNN. Chris Cuomo, the brother of Andrew Cuomo, what was he, the governor of New York or whatever. Oh, it is. They were talking about during all that COVID stuff, only like one person ever asked one governor where they got the authority to do what they were doing, because they were like shutting churches down. Remember that? They shut churches down. I'm not a constitutional scholar, but if you ever read the Constitution, there's a section in there about religion. In that particular section about religion, there's no little asterisk that says this part of the Constitution is forfeit if there's a virus of unknown origins released during a presidential campaign. There's nothing in the Constitution about that. So for those of you who are participating in this stream are wondering, that would make all what they did absolutely unconstitutional. And when they asked the one governor about it, he said, this is paraphrasing, something to the fact of like, essentially, I don't give a shit about your constitutional rights. And in the interview with Chris Cuomo and the guy that was talking about, because the guy that talked about was telling the story, he said, well, at least that governor had the balls to say something at least as stupid as he didn't give a shit about your constitutional rights during the COVID lockdowns. Because no other governor even had there was not even a worse answer than that, because no one asked the question. Which is like, it's like, all right, here we go. Yeah, the bird flu, because they killed all those birds off. Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. And that's why, supply and demand, well, the supply was gone. That's why, a couple months ago, wholesale egg prices, that's how prices or eggs are sold. There's not a dude on the side of the road with a 12-pack of chicken eggs selling eggs. They're wholesaled. That's what determines the cost of eggs, is wholesale prices. And wholesale prices were crazy. And then, like over a month ago, they dropped 50%. Wholesale prices. Which should reflect grocery store prices eventually. But they didn't. They came down a little bit, but they haven't gone down like they should. So, like, if we say something like eggs are $1, and then eggs go up to $10 because of a supply issue, so wholesale prices will just say go from $1 to $10. Then wholesale prices drop 50%. That should be a $5 egg package, essentially. When it was 1, went to 10, it should go to 5. Instead, it went 1, 10, like 8. They didn't drop the prices in accordance with the wholesale prices. Yeah, no, but like these eggs here aren't even from Iowa. They're from Illinois. I believe these are, what do they say? Grown in Illinois, packaged in Texas. So, sold exclusively Aldi from Illinois, packaged. Oh, these are actually packaged in Harris, Iowa. Sorry, I'm a liar. I thought I saw Texas someplace. Texas license. Maybe that's tax license. my general statement is it seems as though they kept the egg prices high in front of Easter. Just saying. That's what it seems as though. They used to call it price gouging, but now it's called, I don't know what they call it now. You're a sucker because you don't get to price gouge people or something. I mean, I guess if an industry collectively price gouges, it's okay, but if an individual does, then it's bad. They'll come after you if you do it individually. I know that. Like there was people who were buying hand sanitizer, and then they were being arrested for selling hand sanitizer too expensive. Back when there was hand sanitizer shortages. I'm not sure what to think about that. I mean, if there's no hand sanitizer and you want some, what would you pay? And if there's a dude that's got a bunch and he's selling it for expensive, would you pay expensive for it? I don't know. But they arrest you for that shit. You can't do that. I'm just pretty sure, like I said, you got to be a big enough criminal. Now, if that guy cornered the hand sanitizer market and he was the sole supplier of hand sanitizer, and then he was gouging the shit out of everybody, that would be considered totally fine, I guess. I mean, I don't really know. Well, that's just too big. He's too big of a hand sanitizer salesman. We can't go after him. I mean, whatever. Someone's been talking about the China situation. I mean, I'm not following too close because like whatever. But there was like allegedly what China was like, we're gonna stop sending stuff altogether. So the option won't even be there. Then like supposedly like Walmart was losing their mind because they're like, well, we gotta have shit to sell. Because all they sell is Chinese stuff essentially. So then like Walmart's like, we'll pay the tax for you. Just get the shit here. Whatever. Don't even know. I try not to shop at Walmart. I think when I hear that, like, really was like, whoa, that's crazy. That blows my nose long. Supposedly, in the rumor mill, someone was saying that the Fleet Farm in my town's going to close. That's the word on the street. Well, it's true or not, though. Another rumor was the big mall in my town, they're trying to turn that into low-income housing. So they're cranking the rent. And all the people who still have stores in there to try to get them out so they can convert it into low-income housing. I don't know if that's true or not. And then I found out we're getting a Chick-fil-A on my side of town. I didn't know that. I apparently don't drive in that direction enough. It should be pretty nice. Right across the street from where all the bums hang out. Can't imagine Getting panhandled. Fleet Farm is not closing. Oh, well, that's the word of the street is it might be. Word of the street is Fleet Farm might be closing and the Costco's going to go in Fleet Farm. I'm just telling you what the streets are saying. Not official. Just a word on the street. It'd be sad if Fleet Farm closed because, like, I live in like a farming community. We used to have Tractor Supply, and that closed. It's like, how do we not have a Tractor Supply around here? That's another one that just like makes my brain hurt. Like, how do we not have a Tractor Supply? Like, what's that? Not according to the internet. They have well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a rumor. It's not official. Most stores don't do a big announcement that they might be closing soon. I assume it's a rumor from a person with inside knowledge, is what I assume. I.e., someone's family member works there and then talked to somebody who talked to somebody who talked to somebody. I'm not in charge of the rumors. I just spread them. All right. Oh, well. Look at my cabinets, weirdos. Whatever. I don't go to Fleet Farm very much. Get my oil changers there. I do have to tell one story, and I will caveat the story with, if you watch this and you feel as though the story is about you, don't take offense. I just have to tell the story because I think it's funny. A buddy of mine, you know I'm going to tell the story because you were here. A buddy of mine stopped by the other day, and he had a new truck. He's been having problems with his truck. He's got an automatic tipping tailgate, if you will. Press a button on the key fob, and the tailgate comes out automatically. Pretty nice feature. And since the day he bought it, hits the button, it goes click, and it doesn't come down. Kind of sucks. When he took his truck into, I think he went to get an oil change and have that thing looked at. So it's a Ford. I said at the Ford dealer, and the Ford dealer's working on it, and they're shooting lube, and also they can't fix it, though it won't come down, and I don't know what he said. I think he said he got a free oil change and a free another oil change because they can't solve this problem. I think they're ordering parts, torsion things, so there's all these springs and everything. They're like, oh my god. I mean, I think it's shitty when you buy something and it's supposed to work and it doesn't. I feel bad. And it's a fancy tailgate. It's the one that's got the step that comes out and the handle and all that crazy shit, the clamp areas, everything. It's probably, if I had to guess, probably that's got to be like a $1,500 tailgate, maybe a $2,000 tailgate. Anyways, nice tailgate. We're admiring the inaction of the automatically lowering tailgate, and I was like, "Fuck, I'll take a look at it." I look at it probably for. I mean, I don't want to overestimate things. I looked at that thing for probably 2 seconds and instantly diagnosed and solved the problem instantly. Figured out exactly what was wrong with it, solved it, the whole thing. Well, I didn't solve it. Tailgate's misaligned. It's offset to the driver's side by If that tailgate was aligned to the passenger side by a 32nd of an inch, it would work flawlessly. There's a rubber bumper in the corner that was touching the actual tailgate, and they put a sticker on there to help prevent the rubber bumper, if it were to touch the tailgate, from rubbing the paint off. So the thing I saw within 2 seconds was the sticker was like arrested. It was crumpled. So he pulled the sticker off, then I got some lube, put a little lube on that their rubber thing, and the thing went up and down. But like after sitting for 10 minutes, the lube wouldn't work. I sat there and thought about that. I was like, a fucking Ford dealership couldn't sort that riddle out. Like I'm not a Ford dealership. I don't work for Ford. I own a Ford, but I don't. And I'm not like. I wasn't like, I didn't roll my sleeves up or anything. All it is, I opened my eyes. I just opened my eyes and looked. And it's like, because on a tailgate, there's very little going on a tailgate. I'll explain it to you if you don't know. There's the tailgate, the physical tailgate. There's 2 round, like, pivot points at the bottom. Yeah, there's that. There's at least typically 2 wires that hold the tailgate in the down position. There's that. They attach at the tailgate and to the structure of the bed. There's the latches that like lock the tailgate, little, and yeah, that's about it. Pretty simple. There ain't a lot to them. So by default, if you have a tailgate that doesn't operate correctly, it can only be like one of 6 things. It's the one side or the other side of the pivot. It's the latch or the latch on the latch, or it's the where the strings are. There's nothing else. There could be, now, to be fair, there's an umbilical for the camera and the light and all that, so there is that. That's also there too. But the Ford technician could solve that riddle. I mean, my buddy got some oil changes out of it. I mean, good for him. I feel like I earned an oil change somehow. But whatever. I mean, it's under warranty, so like, the simple solution would be to sand a little bit out of that rubber, but it's under warranty, so like, I guess, I don't know if he's going to say anything to him. Maybe he'll just have Ford put a whole new goddamn thing in there. I have no idea what they're going to do. Yeah, I just, after we figured that out, I checked the body panels. I was like, yeah, it's like probably 1/16 off. Half of a 16th, 32nd, half of a 32nd, 64th. That thing was a 64th over, it wouldn't even rub. Maybe 128th, I have no idea. Not much, but it's enough. I mean, I don't know what God, he could probably take the side of his truck and just pull it over and probably fix it, but I ain't gonna do that to his truck. Pretty well stuff though. I mean, I've had to deal with the Ford technicians before. It's not impressive. My favorite one was my third brake light on my truck. And I have no idea how Ford could possibly do this, but my truck's third brake light had incandescent bulbs in it, and they would get so hot that they would melt the plastic and like crackle it out. It's like, who makes cars for a living? You can't sort that riddle out. So I decided I would change those bulbs out to LEDs after I got my third brake light warranted, because if they just kept putting the same thing in, it would, like, there's no change. So I went down there, I talked to him, I was like, hey, here's the deal. It's obvious the bulbs that Ford includes aren't going to work, so I'm just going to put different bulbs in. That should solve it. They don't draw as much power, they won't be as hot, everything will be fine. I said, can we have your guy, or can I stick them in, or how do we got to do it? Because like on those taillights, they're screwed into plastic, and like, you don't get unlimited screw and unscrews when you're screwing into plastic. It's limited. You do enough time, it strips out, it's garbage. I said, this is what I want to do. when that third brake light assembly comes out and gets replaced, I would like to have the new bulbs installed and have it screwed together one time. That way the chance of it leaking are reduced, all that. I was like, I'd like to talk to your guy, because they said, oh, we can throw the bulbs in for you. I was like, fine, that's perfect. I said, I'll throw the bulbs in. I'm not trying to get you to do the work. I don't want you to change my bulbs out for me, but like, no, we can't have you back there putting your own bulbs in. We have our technician. I said, can I talk to your technician before he does it? Because there's some things he needs to know. And they basically told me, no, that can't happen, because, you know, I have this look, and I'm a dummy. I got to sit in the popcorn eating area, and their professional technician will take care of it. And I was like, are you sure I just can't go back there and have a chat with him? And they're like, nope. I was like, all right, whatever. Wait my time. Time's up. Truck comes out. Check the lights. Half of them don't work. I was like, well, see, that's the problem. I was going to talk to your technician because LED light bulbs the polarity is very important. If you put an LED light bulb in reverse polarity, it won't work. Now, so I was going to tell your technician that in case perhaps he was uneducated on how the polarity on LED light bulbs work, to save you screwing my shit together, then having to unscrew my shit, fix the fuck up, and then re-screw it on. So at this point, I was like, you know, thanks for not letting me, you know, help your dude not fuck his job up. I guess I'm going to go back there and fucking have a conversation with him, and I don't give a shit about it. Go back, talk to the dude. He's like, I had no idea. I was like, yeah, I tried to, like, let you know because, like, you're not born with this knowledge. Like, you don't fall out of a coconut tree and get that. It's just like, my God. Whatever. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, I guess. Oh, well. I'm trying to think. It's kind of windy today. I didn't get as much done yesterday as I was hoping to. I look around my house and it looks like it needs cleaned. That's what I see when I look around. Maybe today's clean the house day. Oh well. 57 minutes. I got 2 minutes left. I'm going to talk about for 2 minutes. Yeah, I'll save that story for another time. I don't want to bash my buddy too much. I'm not really bashing him. It's just like, I'm bashing Ford is who I'm bashing, because like, that's like, I can't, my brain cannot comprehend that Ford dealer couldn't figure that out. And as soon as like you saw it, every time you open the thing, you could see the rubber thing going bang, like it was like whoever that dude was at Ford, that guy needs to find something else to do to make money, because he or she, they are not qualified to be a technician at a Ford dealer. There's just no way, dude. Like, I swear to God, if you had a dude that was a passionate blind person, they would have sorted that out. A blind, passionate mechanic would have figured that out, because they would have felt the rubber. It's just like, how do they? And then my buddy was saying they were just spraying lube in like the latch. I assume the latch, just more lube, put more lube in there, to the point where like I think he even asked him, how much goddamn lube are you going to spray in that latch? Like, maximum lube. It's still like, whatever. That shit is crazy. Remember your Ford? Yeah, I think you had a Ford that had some problems. I mean, I try not to think about all that, but I mean, I drove a Ford Bronco. It was the biggest piece of shit in the history of the world. I guess I shouldn't say that. It was a pretty big piece of shit, though. Although I'm like 90% sure that most of that truck's issues happened because it got drove into the ocean. Like it drove through beach water flats and got salt water and probably never got rinsed properly. That's just my personal speculation. But I mean, knock on wood, I've had pretty good luck with my Ford, my truck. I mean, tailgate or the third brake light thing. Like that's just they're just dipshits for that. And then I had like there was something else they couldn't fix. What was it? Oh, my tailgate. The plastic trim of my tailgate came with like big gouge in it, and I was like, just give me like can I just start my brand new truck's life without a big gouge in the plastic? I mean, I don't want to be a super dickhead, but like it's gonna get gouged, but like can we just start with no gouge? And they're like, yeah, no problem. And they could like I think I took that thing out there 3 times. They replaced it, they put one with a worse gouge, and I was like, well, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like the one you took out was in better shape than the one you put in. I'm like, oh man, sorry. And then like another one came. It was fun. I was like, dude, this like I found I was like, this can't be that like. Can you just have the dude that does the work look at the piece, and if it's fucked up, stop tearing my truck apart? Like, just do the. What's that now? Hold on, I'm reading. It lived at the dealership for most of its warranty life with a short. Broke my door locks. Yeah, I think I remember like did the technician steal a bunch of like soda money out of your because you'd always put your coins in to maximum and then like you got your car back and there was like a soda's worth of coins missing. I remember that. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's probably why you don't drive a Ford anymore. The only reason I drive a Ford is because every Chevy truck I've ever seen in my life rusts to a pile of shit in about 3 years, and I convinced myself an aluminum truck won't rust, so we'll see. I think I hit the sweet spot on my truck, though, I'll be honest with you, because, like, I was able to sneak in there, I don't have that stupid 10-speed transmission that's a piece of shit. I got the 6-speed, the good, reliable one. I don't have that crazy turboed engine that always fails and all that shit. I got the reliable V8, I don't have 1,000 pieces of technology that are all going to fail, like a bunch of cameras and all this shit. I mean, I have a backup camera, which is fine. I don't have all this radar. I mean, I do have backup radar, but like, I think the truck's just dumb enough that it may just keep working, as opposed to like this new stuff where it's all this craziness. What did I see the other day? There was a Jeff Bezos or something's got a company coming out called Slate. They're making Slate trucks. They're like these little mini trucks that are electric vehicles. It's supposed to be $20,000 to get one of these things, and it's like how do you describe it? It'll have everything in it that makes it legal, and then like nothing else. Like you're gonna crank the windows up like this, reek, 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 reek. It's like steel rims. It's a 2-seater with a bed, but like you can mod it out and put a second row and a topper on it. It kind of looks like an old Jimmy. I'm thinking, my God, am I going to buy an electric truck? Like, get rid of my Subaru and buy a little electric truck? Like, that thing looks so cool. Like, you can do so much fun stuff with it. It's like, it sounds like people are starting to wake up that, like, the amount of people who can afford a $100,000 vehicle maybe are still making their payments on their $100,000 vehicle. They're not going to be buying any more of them. So, like, and then, like, all their other people's like, I just need a vehicle, dude. Like, I don't need a palace. I mean, obviously, it depends what you're doing. If you've got, like, 5 kids and yourself and your wife, you're probably going to need a vehicle that can hold, 5, 6, 7? You're going to need a 7-passenger vehicle. So, like, that's real. If you got a skid loader and you got to pull a skid loader, you're probably going to need a vehicle that's like maybe rated to do that. I don't know. If you don't have a skid loader and you're not pulling a skid loader, maybe you don't need a vehicle that's rated to pull a skid loader. I don't know how that actually works in life. Why do I feel like this is so dusty over here? It's super drum balls. So I don't know. It ain't easy. Alright, we've gone past time. Hope everyone survived the week or whatever. Good luck to everybody. I'm out. Peace.